fuck. It is gonna be a shit show. Anyways, we're recording now, by the way, Adam.
Yeah, so I
Anyways,
see.
it's your boys,
Mm.
Pat Ars, Adam Knitch. Welcome to our new Quick Sixer show, Dropping the Needle, where we're gonna talk about specific albums and music, pop culture, all that bullshit, that we don't talk about on the
Yeah.
other shows. And for this specific one, you boys chose Otis Redding's Blue or Otis Blue. And Adam said he has a bunch of research. We're gonna go over a whole bunch of shit on this,
I don't
but
know. Yeah, I don't know about a
well,
whole bunch of research,
all right,
but
maybe not a whole
the
bunch, but
I browse certain sections.
yeah, yeah. And in quick sixer fashion, we have a beverage for this occasion, and since this was 1965, since it's basically a what I wouldn't would you call it a jazz album? I don't know.
No,
I
it's
don't think
I
it
would say
is.
soul, blues and soul.
Blues and soul.
Yeah,
Yeah, recorded hella quick in the studio. And them boys was
yeah,
drinking on some coffee. So we have, that Java. Ooh, that N Town represent.
yeah. That good coffee.
Hell yeah. So, anyways, um, Adam, you want to give a rundown of what this album is and why we picked it?
Yeah. I mean, I picked it because I've always. I mean, we're from Memphis. Otis Redding
Mm.
is a big part of being from Memphis. The whole soul era, especially at least for me. You know,
Yeah.
gives me chills every time I hear it. But and especially this album because it's so well rounded. It's the third album by Otis Redding. 1965.
Mm-hmm.
A year. It was like a year or two before he died tragically. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's good because also what's weird about the album too is it became so significant in music culture alone. But the fact that it's covers, it's covers from other artists that influenced him, from
Yeah.
Sam Cooke to BB King to
Mm-hmm.
the Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, so it kind of covers like it's got blues rock, soul, funk, a little bit of
Mm-hmm.
funk, like I mean it's got, it just shows how well rounded he was,
Yeah. It's
the
kind
man
of
can sing
crazy.
anything. Yeah.
It's kind of a crazy album, honestly. I like the first. So, if you're looking at them, I guess it's the most recent updated one, the one I'm pulling from. But
Yeah.
I've talked about it before on other shows that have been going through the Rolling Stone Top 500 Greatest Albums list, and this
Yeah.
one sits at 178 right now. So
Yeah.
I
Which
think that's a little low.
underrated. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Totally.
but if you're looking at, so there's two different versions. So if you want to listen to this yourself, two different versions on like iTunes or Spotify bullshit, all of that. One is the Otis Blue Mono, which is the original, the one that we're talking about, which is 11 songs. They're only 33 minutes, which is like,
Yeah.
bro,
Yeah.
you got 33
Quick.
minutes. I know you
Yeah.
do, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And the other one is Otis Blue, Otis Redding Sings Soul Collector's Edition. This joint, bruh,
How many songs does
bruh.
that have? Let them know.
This
Let them know.
one is 40 songs. Yeah, don't choke on the coffee. 40
Yeah.
songs, 2 hours and 4 minutes.
Jeez.
So, just so you
But I
guys,
mean that's yeah, and it's a lot of just like live and
yeah,
different sessions of the songs and
yeah, there's
whatnot.
live shit, there's like
Yeah,
demo shit on here. It
yeah,
looks like, and I mean, just so anybody's who thinks that we're not bullshitting around, like me and Adam both listened to both versions of this in preparation for this. So, yeah, man. I mean, 2 hours is no fucking joke, too. If you're trying to listen to one album, it's kind of crazy,
no, yeah,
but I enjoyed it. I mean, honestly,
yeah,
like I don't think I listened to the original, like the original version
hmm,
before, but
yeah,
listening to the long one, collector's edition one, it's kind of nuts. Like, dude's range, like you were talking about, is just crazy.
yeah, and especially that's what's crazy about the soul. It's like usually they're using like all the horns and string instruments and stuff to make all these crazy sounds and stuff, and it that's what kind of carries the song. And
Mm-hmm.
then you got your lead vocalist who's up, like, but I mean his the up and down of his voice range and like how he
Mm-hmm.
carries it out and improvises with his his own voice. That's kind of an instrument. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I mean, this
And
is one
like
that.
go ahead.
Oh no, you.
I was just saying that, yeah, it's pretty impressive too. Just like, yeah, how he took all the, like I said, like those covers, like Respect, for instance, took that
Mm-hmm.
song and made it completely something else. And
Yeah, I
also,
mean,
I mean, yeah, go
it's
ahead.
crazy pulling from. You're pulling from Aretha, but you're also pulling from fucking Rolling Stones, like in the same album. That's
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
like
And the
it's
crazy
two
thing about
ends,
that Rolling Stones one too, I saw that or heard this that yeah what song we're talking about is Can't Get No Satisfaction by Rolling
Mhm.
Stones. And I suppose Rolling Stones wrote that song as a tribute to Otis Redding.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then he covered it, for that album.
That's
So it's
kind of
like,
dope.
wow, it's kind of full circle. Yeah,
That's
pretty
super
pretty
dope.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man. That's
but
I don't know,
right.
man.
And also, too, I mean, let's talk about the production value of it. Stacks, record at Stacks Studio.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
I saw this too that I guess a young Isaac Hayes was a producer on this album.
No shit.
Yeah, yeah,
That's pretty crazy.
yeah,
Um, dude, this whole album is just like it's kind of nuts. So,
yeah,
also, I mean, let's talk about it was recorded in one day.
yeah,
24 hours
yeah,
this thing was recorded,
yeah.
which shit, bro, you back in 65, you probably doing coke and drinking coffee all
Oh,
night. You're gonna do this thing, you're gonna knock this thing out of the
Preludes,
park, you know?
yeah,
Why not?
yeah.
And actually, oh fuck me, it was recorded July 9th. So today recording is July 10th.
Oh,
So
really?
it says
Wow, you
July
know that
9th,
one.
1965. Yeah, nailed that
Yeah, that's crazy.
unintentionally.
That's yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, July 9th, 1965.
Wow.
So just yeah, I mean, just a heads up on that. It recorded at Stacks. It was hot as fuck in there.
Oh yeah,
100%.
yeah,
So
definitely must, dude.
oh god, dude, it was probably rough. Like, it's a
Yeah, I
small
mean, I feel like
place.
all those studios were back in those days.
Hmm. Yeah, it's dude, it's I don't know. It's weird to hear like something like this, like, and it still resonates, like, and you can still hear some of this kind of shit in or like uh people's interpretations of these songs, and also like the
Yeah,
not just the message of them, but like how they resonate with people today. Like you can see the influence from other people now, which is it's
yeah,
kind of nuts, man. That this thing is 60 years old, more than that.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
So yeah,
Maths, maths.
that's
You
not
know.
our strong suit.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like
yeah.
y'all do the math.
Yeah, I think it's 50. It's some
I think it's like
it's like
60.
half a century old. So it's kind of nuts.
Yeah.
But oh, bro, I don't know. Like, do you have a favorite off of this? You think? I think mine
I mean,
might
yeah,
be
that's what.
the fucking uh the Rolling Stones cover. I think it's cool.
Yeah, that. But Down in the Valley is one for sure. I feel like that's still an underrated song.
Hmm.
So that's what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. That where it's like he uses his voice, to kind of even how the valley, talking about the valley. It seems like he's going up and down with it.
Hmm. Yeah.
But
Yeah. No, I feel
that
you.
and then Wonderful World. That's a good song. That's an
Oh,
awesome
dude.
song too.
Yeah. Super random song too on there.
Yeah.
Hmm. Man, I'm like on one right now, dude. This is like my fourth cup of coffee today, so I'm
Going in.
on it. Yeah, yeah, going in. Yeah, I'm trying to be in the fucking
Like,
in the mix. I
yeah,
can make
dude.
this
Save
album
some
right now. Let's go.
save some
No,
coffee for the rest of us.
hell nah, bro. I drank a whole half a pot, and I had to make my own like this coffee for this show. So
Yeah.
a little on edge. You know
I
what I mean?
hear I hear you, dude. I mean, I've like lately, dude, I don't know why it's so tired just from like working and stuff, but I've like even at work, like we'll just make all of us just make a ton of coffee every day. Like we'll make like
Yeah,
several pots of coffee.
yeah. I remember
Keep it going.
working on set. Like that's fucking all I drank was like coffee and
Yeah,
water.
yeah,
Because like you feel like once you get into like the soda game or whatever, like the day starts to just drag and drag. Like when
yeah,
you get like all that extra
yeah,
shit in you, it's
yeah,
awful. But
yeah,
anyways, besides this, we wanted to, I guess the idea behind the show is a highlight of an album,
yeah.
and
Like
obviously
album,
we're highlighting this one, right?
yeah,
Um,
like an album that for me it'd be like highlighting an album that means a lot to me. It's
mhm.
in the top in our my top whatever 100 my own Rolling Stones list or
You're
whatever.
you Adam Stoned 100.
Yeah, yeah. I'm Stone 100 list.
No, Adam's Stoned 100.
Yeah,
It's like when you get high and you listen to 100
yeah,
of,
yeah.
I'm gonna listen to my top 100 tonight.
Top
But
100. Yeah, keep
mm,
going.
that's
Yeah,
what's up. But I mean, we also want to talk about other stuff. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, there's not a crazy amount of I don't know, music shit that I've been hearing in the ether right now. But
yeah.
I don't know. So I guess we could. I don't know, unless you got something that even you heard about that you want to talk about, but like that's just out in the world right now.
Um, like you mean like new music or just
Sure. I mean, or we can just like any
yeah.
like somebody's. Oh, this is kind of crazy. So speaking of Rolling Stones,
Mhm.
me and Meg had tickets to go see their
Yeah, I
latest
remember you told me
tour.
about. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was like
So
it got canceled because of COVID. Is that what it was? It was
no,
before
it
COVID.
was weird. You know, how everything got canceled because COVID, right?
Yeah.
And then people started rescheduling shit. And I was like, oh, cool.
Hmm.
This thing's gonna get rescheduled. It was the
Yeah.
only ticket that we had bought for the year that said just postponed. It didn't
Yeah.
give you an option for
Yeah.
refund. It might have, but
Uh,
I didn't take that. Like, I'm gonna see the Stones. Like, it's gonna happen.
yeah.
So it still hasn't been rescheduled. And it keeps popping up in my phone. Like, here's the tickets for this thing. Like, it'll like
Yeah.
pull down as a notification. Like, oh, it's time to
Yeah.
go see him. And I'm like,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
it's
It's
not.
not happening.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. And I keep checking the website and stuff. Like, no, it's still postponed until postponed or whatever. And last year or 2 years ago, whatever, time, time
Yeah.
and maths,
Time. Yeah.
Um, so 2 years ago, I guess Elton John was doing his
Uh-huh.
goodbye Yellow
I
Brick
remember
Road
that.
tour.
Yeah. He was supposed to come here. Well, I guess he did. Yeah. He came to New Orleans for that.
Yeah. So I think right before shutdown, like he was supposed to play Bridgestone.
Hmm.
And I remember seeing posters for it, being like, "Oh man, that would be sick. That would
Yeah.
be sick." And then I thought it happened, but I guess it didn't happen because
Yeah.
there's like radio commercials and shit about him playing uh what's it called uh Nissan Stadium, like the football stadium now. So
Oh, nice.
yeah, so I was like, hell yeah, like that
That's cool.
sounds sick.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm listening to the commercial, right, and I'm like, all right, they're gonna say this year, they're like, it's
Yeah.
gonna be October.
2022.
Yeah, and they're like
Yeah.
October
Everyone's doing 2022. Yeah.
2022, and I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
that's a year away.
Yeah. It's
And
it's yeah, it's interesting to see how many people are going back on tour and who's waiting till like 2022
mhm. I,
because
it seems like maybe older acts, or I don't know. It seems kind of nuts, like some of these
yes.
shows.
Well, did you hear about the what was it? The it's like some kind of some country jam music festival in Colorado. They were like, I guess it was some community or whatever. I forgot where it is in Colorado, but they were having this thing and it was like, I guess there's like a not widespread, but getting, the spread of the new variants or whatever, the Delta
Mm,
variants.
yeah.
So, and they're like, how, I was just reading like kind of an article about it, about, why would they still throw this even though they know, it's like,
Yeah.
it's Colorado, like,
Well,
rural communities.
yeah, fuck that. Speaking of still throwing things, fucking Bonnaroo and Lollapalooza are still gonna happen this year.
Yeah. Yeah. And here we have Jazz Fest in New Orleans.
Yeah.
It's happening too, like in October. But yeah, they just like was like somebody got added. I don't know. But anyways, but I did see that a few bands dropped out of Bonnaroo due to scheduling issues.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like
And
Lana
anybody
Del
big?
Rey,
Oh,
Lana Del
really?
Rey, and King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard.
They did.
But
I didn't
that's
see that.
yeah. It's about. I mean, they're just like. I mean, I saw that they're playing like in Red Rocks for like 2 or 3 nights. It's like that'd be sick, but
That is sick. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
But I don't know, man. Like, um, so recently I went to Florida, um, for 4th of July. Spent it with my folks, and
It's Fourth of
it was.
July as you can get, bro.
Oh yeah, no, right. Fucking
America.
yeah, America's fuck. Anyway, we drive the way from Nashville to go there is you drive past like where Bonner is, like you pass
Oh,
it.
you got through Manchester, Tennessee.
Yeah, yeah. So you like go, you cut down to like Chattanooga and then like make
Mhm.
your way, right? So from here, that you
Seems
pass
it
right
seems
by
like
it, huh?
so you went like more east and then dropped down
A little
through
bit, like so
Georgia.
you kind of go through Murfreesboro and then drop down to
Oh,
Chattanooga.
okay.
So
Okay.
boom, boom, yeah. But that's the way, to go
Hmm.
to Bonner. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but bro, I it's kind of crazy because like I feel like, I mean, specifically with me and you, we went quite a few years, right? And
Yeah.
like I was like driving past this thing and like legit couldn't tell you where it was. Like there's no fucking
Yeah.
sign. There's
Yeah.
nothing.
I mean, it's straight up. It's just like an open field, for like
Yeah.
acres
But
and
like
acres.
the craziest part about it is like, the people that do that festival, they own the land now. So they're throwing like random shows out there.
Yeah.
Like the Avett brothers are
Oh,
playing there
yeah. Yeah. It just like
one night.
one offs or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't
That's
know what it
cool.
is. Like maybe it's to like warm up the fucking stage and see if everything's working or whatever. But
Could be. Yeah.
it could
That's
be.
cool
And
though.
yeah, it
Yeah.
seems weird though. Those are kind of bigger bands to try to do a warm up show. But
Yeah, but well, I mean, it's what I'm saying. They could just be used as a venue, because it's like they probably took a hit from not having it last year. So maybe
yeah,
it's like Bonnaroo teamed up with that community to be like, hey, let's get some
throw
shit going.
shows every now and then. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
But like, I guess what I'm getting at is like, I really fuck with that. Like, that's
yeah.
like
I would too.
the area, the stages and all that stuff is like, it's so
Hmm.
cool. Like,
Yeah,
I feel like I'm too old to fucking go now without like m- putting out a lot of money to go, like RV or like air conditioned tent or some shit.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I'm too
yeah,
old for that shit. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Like when we were driving past, I was like, man, we were talking about it like that's a young person's game, bro. Like
yeah.
being
Definitely.
out in
Yeah,
July
definitely.
or June or whatever the fuck in
Yeah,
the middle of
yeah.
that
No, it's like
field.
there's a couple festival lineups I looked at. I'm like, that sounds like fun, but then you start thinking about it, you're like, oh man, I'm not trying to
Yeah,
die of dehydration.
dude, it's just like, well, and like now, like straight up, I'd be bringing beers in there, and like that's not the way to do it. Like you got to be fucking hydrated,
Yeah, yeah,
and be like,
yeah,
I'm gonna be working on my dehydration the whole time. Like I'd
yeah,
be like, fuck.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
can't really fuck
Uh,
with that. But like, I don't know, man. I keep thinking about all these like festivals and whatnot, and like, I mean, going back to like, I guess the Otis Blue album. Like, do you think Otis, like, you think people like Otis would be on these like venues, like these lineups?
yeah, dude, because I mean, he played Monterey Pop Festival,
Well, I know that, but I mean, like
but
now,
yeah,
do you think
you
like,
think he would be?
yeah, I don't know. Do I think?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, yeah. No, I think so for sure,
I think
for
so too.
sure.
But like,
Yeah.
I think it would be like more of a, like, all right, so the current place I'm at in this top 500 list is like 121 or 131 or some shit, and
Mm,
it's Elvis Costello, and I was like, okay,
yeah,
but like, yeah, right. And I'm like, all right, whatever. Not
yeah.
too much my jam. Right, but
Yeah.
okay. But I keep remembering that when we went to Bonnaroo the first
Oh,
time
we
we went,
saw him. Yeah.
yeah. So he opened up for it was him, then Beck, then Radiohead in 2006.
Yeah.
And I can't remember. Like I remember, I got sat out there and got fucking roasted because I remember you went and jumped over to see some other band or whatever, and I was like, I'm just gonna sit here. Fuck it, I don't care. And that
I
was a
think we stayed
terrible
there like
idea.
all day.
Do
Because
what?
remember it was like I think we stayed there like all day though.
Yeah,
Because I
the
remember we
big
packed
stage.
like a
Yeah,
whole fucking backpack of like shit, like
yeah.
snacks and like
It was a terrible idea. Like we should have just like it didn't matter. In
yeah.
the
But it was
end,
like I think it was Aaron Neville, I think, and then Elvis Costello, and then Beck, and then Radiohead. But yeah, so it was like an all
that
day
makes sense.
event. Yeah.
Yeah. But like I feel like I guess what I'm saying is I feel like Otis probably would have been one of those kind of spots if he was in
Oh
like
yeah,
the
for sure.
new like one
Yeah.
of these newer
Yeah.
festivals
Yeah.
because they would want to give him a big stage, but it probably wouldn't be he
Yeah.
probably
And
wouldn't be
it would be like
headlining.
yeah, it'd be like some all-star thing too with like, some of these like old school cats, like, by somebody from Grateful Dead, like playing with them.
Probably. Probably. Fucking and probably like what's her name? Uh I can't remember. Anyway, um besides that, I don't know, dude. I think festivals are still I think it's a cool idea. It's kind of sketchy still, I think, but man,
Yeah.
bro, if I learned
Well,
anything
like
from going to Florida, there are certain parts of this country that don't give a shit right now, dude.
yeah. Yeah. We're talking about I was talking to somebody I work with about Pitchfork Fest. He was
Mm.
gonna go, but I guess his friends were saying like they were gonna back out because they're making them like either show that you're vaccinated, like fully vaccinated, or get tested every day.
Oh shit. At
Which is like,
Pitchfork?
yeah,
Wow. Okay.
supposedly. So yeah, I mean that's a way to do it, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I mean, there's also like it's kind of tripping me out like how many people don't really also when I was down there like I was trying to talk to people about it like what's the fucking what is your problem with it? Like just go get your it takes 2 seconds.
Yeah, yeah,
And I don't know, there's just like it doesn't matter, dude. I don't know. It's fucking
yeah,
it doesn't matter, but it doesn't it's not shit we're gonna be able to change. So anyway, go
yeah.
get
I
your
mean, it's
shots,
like
everybody.
yeah, yeah, for sure, definitely go now. But
Yeah,
yeah, I
go.
mean, it's the same way here. Louisiana. It's
Mhm. Yeah.
people.
So anyways, about Otis Blue, there's tons of like even if we want to talk about soundtracks, I guess, right? There's so many songs on this that you could throw on any soundtrack, I feel like. And it would
Yeah,
make it good. Or like even just the versions that he did of some of these songs are like just as good, if not better than the originals. So I think they're all
yeah.
worth it, and I mean, you should give it a shot. I don't know, like what exact, like if you're trying to throw it on what specific movie, but I
Well,
don't
that's what I was
know.
gonna say. There, what how I kind of remembered about it, or I thought like I knew about it, but it was a couple of years ago on that this show Quarry, like the Rock Quarry, But it's a did you hear about that show? It's like I think it was like Cinemax or yeah,
No.
Cinemax or Stars or something. But anyways, it was a show that Chelsea worked on it because it was like so it was shot in New Orleans, but it was about Memphis, so they came like and did like a leg of it in Memphis,
Oh,
but it's like in
sick.
the it was in the 70s about this guy who comes back from the Vietnam War and gets like involved as being like a like hitman, like drug smuggler kind of dude. And
Ooh.
but yeah, so there's a scene where he's like, it's kind of cool because it's like this house is pretty badass, like 60s style house.
Yeah.
And he like puts on the records Otis Blue, and they like show it and everything, puts it
Oh,
on, and
wow.
it's that song, I Need My Water, you know.
Hmm.
And so yeah, and then he like jumps in the pool and like swims, because and it's pretty good. It's a pretty cool scene. But I was like, oh wow, that's awesome. Like, totally forgot about that album. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's been used a few times, I think.
That's super
But
cool.
yeah, it's
Man,
like
I
good on
can't
them
remember.
for be using like
Yeah.
a
Yeah. No, that's what's up. There was Shit, what was the movie, or it was a show? It was a show that would play like different versions, like these weird versions of songs. I can't remember it right now, but I'm
Like a
fuck.
show on TV?
Yeah. It was
Oh,
and you'd always like I'd catch it and be like, "Oh shit." Like that's 9 Inch Nails or whatever, you know? Like
oh yeah.
fuck, I can't even remember. Oh, fucking Westworld. That's what it was.
Oh, okay.
Westworld. They
Yeah.
though
Yeah, it's like
occasionally
those
you'll catch,
remixes or whatever.
yeah, they do like these
Yeah.
random, maybe like super toned down remixes or whatever of dope ass songs. I feel like one of these could have fit in there easy, stuff
Oh
like
yeah, for
that.
sure. For sure.
I'm talking about needing water, bro. They in the desert half that fucking show, so everybody needs some fucking
I
water.
need my water. I'm
um,
dry.
um, shit, dude. All right, so there was one thing in here that you wrote about obscure record labels finding people back in the
Oh,
day.
yeah. So like, all these they're not new. They probably some have been around for like, 10, 20 years or whatever. But just like, the label Fat Possum, where it's just like they, Hill Country Blues and like all these old dudes that, they've kind of did reissue albums like later when they were like in their, late 70s, early 80s or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But stuff like that. And like another one's Numera Group. Numera Group's pretty cool because they do like compilations and stuff. It'll be like punk in the early 90s, and it'll be like a compilation of like, some big name artists, but also like the lesser known ones,
Mm-hmm.
shit like that. So but yeah, and I don't know, but it seems to be like a really big like fad, just like those record labels are finding these artists, and like, I feel like those are some of those songs and albums are being used on TV shows and movies, because it's
Hmm.
like some of those also too, like it's cheaper to get the license from those, record labels.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. It's interesting, like when I'm like listening to something, I'm like, oh, let me check this band, and like discover this band, and then like I hear it on a TV show, or a
Mm-hmm.
movie or whatever.
Yeah.
But
It's.
especially like these HBO shows, like Big Little Lies and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
like they use like a Charles Bradley song, which is like one of those dudes. It's like, in his was in like in his early 80s when he got kind of, famous again,
Mm-hmm.
especially like overseas and stuff.
Yeah. Especially, I mean, Big Little Lies in particular. That Michael Kiwanuka song that they used for
Yeah.
the fucking
Yeah.
opening. Like, bro, I would have never known about that dude.
Yeah.
And that I think that was 2018, 2019 when his most recent album came out. But like, that was my album of that year for sure. I know I've
Yeah,
told you
that's
that
a good one.
before, but like,
Yeah.
that shit is fire, like
Yeah.
straight
Yeah.
fire. And it's with that. I mean, it has that song on it. No, actually, no, it
Yeah.
doesn't doesn't have that song. But you know,
HBO does a good job of with their whoever their, music execs are or whoever makes the
yeah,
shit happen.
no, I completely agree. Yeah, no, it's just called Kiwanuka. The 2019 is it's the album I'm talking about. But Love and Hate is the one with that song from the Big Little Lies show, A Cold Little
Gotcha.
Heart. But that dude, apparently that dude is like hella huge over in the UK,
Oh
like where
yeah.
he's from. And I was
Yeah.
like, would have never known.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, 2019, that was the shit then. And I feel like even as we're talking about Otis or whatever, you can hear some shit in his album that's like, oh, this could probably been influenced from that. You
Oh,
probably.
definitely. Yeah, definitely. I would say a lot of like these new like R&B dudes are like that,
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind
taking
of
pieces
nuts.
from, yeah,
But
yeah,
it's
but
weird like well, I guess it's not weird because you'd expect like somebody that is as talented as some of the people we're talking about, like they probably grew up around these kind of records,
oh yeah, yeah, for sure. For
and you
sure.
always hear about like, oh yeah, my parents were playing this whatever, like when I was a kid. That was probably in the rotation for so many people back in the day.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
mean, still it should be still fucking
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
get
So it
after it,
makes it one of the best albums of all time, bro.
I mean, apparently the 178th report right now. Right now.
It's on the list at least. That's
Oh
why
yeah,
they had
no.
500. There's so
It
many.
should be higher though,
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah, for sure. It definitely should.
Um,
Definitely.
and I mean, you saw we were talking about this earlier, but you saw a list where it was way higher. It was like 40, 50 spots higher, like a
Yeah.
few years before this one.
Yeah, in 2012 and 2003. 2003, I said it was like 74th, which is like
Yeah,
crazy. It's like, I guess as people get, as the younger kids are starting listening to music and compiling these, I don't know how they get these. Yeah, they come
yeah,
up with these, but I mean, it's funny because like I was looking at an article and it was like her and like a couple other bands are like on this list now. It's like, what?
yeah, yeah. I don't know. Like, so to put in perspective for this particular one, 177. So right before it is Rod Stewart's "Every Picture Tells a Story" from 1971,
That's a good one.
and the one right after it, which I think should be higher as well, is Notorious B.I.G. "Life After Death," 1997, which that should be way higher too. I don't know. This is
Mm.
fucking dumb, but okay, whatever. I didn't make it. We didn't fucking make this list. Our list would be
Yeah.
way better.
That's what I'm saying. Rolling Stone just it's weird because it's like it's like they're kind of all over the place. Like I feel like they're
Mhm.
very influenced too with like what's going on in the pop culture, like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like
100%.
other
Yeah,
lists, like that's why I feel like their list changes constantly because it's like, oh, like, like somebody, oh, the people aren't listening to Otis Redding anymore, like
yeah.
it's
Which
like what?
it's just kind of nuts, man. Honestly. Um, but okay. So I guess we come to the section of the show where we need to talk about some things that are out that we've been listening to, and eventually after that, we'll talk about what our next month's album is going to be. So we're going to do this show monthly, so everyone
Yeah,
can catch up and like actually take in what we're talking about,
sort of it,
and
yeah.
timing, obviously. But
Yeah,
I think it would be a crime not to talk about Tyler the Creator's
yeah,
uh
that's mine.
new album. So
Yeah,
this man, all right, so Tyler is I feel like he's pretty divisive. Like people either love him or hate him or somewhere in between. Like there's no clear uh you know opinion,
yeah,
I guess, on him. But the album we're talking about is Call Me If You Get Lost. It all right, from my perspective, this shit sounds like a mixtape,
I
but
mean, yeah,
it's a mixtape, but I feel
yeah,
like it was intentional. Like I want an album, like album quality, but I want it to sound like a mixtape, you know?
yeah. Well, yeah. Well, what's cool now, I would say that, which, I don't know about you, but like definitely when I was in college, even like, early years in high school, like, download mixtapes. And, that was the thing. It was like half the artist, rap artists, hip hop artists out there, or whatever, like had
Mm-hmm.
their mixtapes would be better than their albums, just because of like the ad libs and the
Oh
skits
yeah,
and, just this dumb shit that you could do on a mixtape,
yeah. Looking at
especially
you,
like
Lil
some of those
Wayne.
3 6 Mafia. Yeah, those 3 6 Mafia mixtapes. And when they, Juicy J and Project Pat went solo and had their own mixtapes.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
what makes this Tyler one so great is because the retro feel of having DJ Drama, who
yeah,
launched a lot of these people's careers.
yeah.
And,
No, I
Gangster
completely
Grills.
agree. Oh, dude. All right, do your fucking homework on Gangsta Grills, everybody, because that shit. Oh my god,
Gangster.
Gangsta Grills. Oh shit,
Yeah,
yeah.
and
Having
you
DJ
gotta. I
drama
mean,
on it.
and the DJ drama, like everybody's giving him shit, like he needs to just shut up because it's all these kids, like don't understand, like like they have these kids that listen to other creators so young, like they don't understand
Yeah,
like 10 or 15 years ago the significance of DJ drama and mixtapes. And that's
dude.
what I was even telling someone. It was like you don't even realize that the cover is supposed to be like old dirty bastard reference, like
Yeah, yeah. It's dude. It's just it's crazy. Like I see Tyler like, and then like he's headlining a shit ton of festivals this year. Like we were just
yeah,
talking about. I think he's actually at Bonnaroo. I don't know.
butter, yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, um, it's crazy to think that like I saw a big thing when MF Doom died this year. Um, Tyler was, well, I don't know if he was tripping, but I saw a video somebody posted of Tyler and Earl Sweatshirt, I think,
Mm,
meeting Doom for the first time and
yeah,
freaking the fuck out. So you
I'm sure. Yeah.
like just freaking out. But so keeping that in mind, you gotta like when you think of these dudes like Tyler Creator and all these guys that are like actual rappers, you
Mm,
gotta think like, oh man, they were into some like underground shit, like they were in the cut, like listening to
yeah.
this like for real.
Yeah.
And I mean, even if I take it even like a different step, um, mixtape game and even like in skateboarding, people were talking about these mixtapes and fucking no one else that I knew besides you
Yeah.
knew about. So like, the dedications and fucking
Yeah.
all this other bullshit that people were
Yeah.
listening to, like you'd hear about it on like skate videos and like, those magazines or
Yeah.
whatever. Legit, I think you're the only other person I knew that knew about that kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
it's and Tyler's a skater. Like that he fucking rips. Like all those Odd
Yeah.
Future
Yeah.
kids are.
Yeah.
Legal Civ, all those dudes.
Mm,
So it kind of makes sense that like, yeah, I'm stuck inside. I'm gonna make like probably the greatest album I've ever had.
yeah, for sure. And I mean, that's what's crazy too. It's like, yeah, it's almost like, I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Chance the Rapper, but it's kind of like
Mm.
that, where he had, it's like his mixtape was a mixtape, but it was, he never really had like an album, but the mixtape took off for him. It's
Yeah.
like I said, I'll do the opposite. Like I feel like now he made that what I would call a mixtape, but I mean it's an album. Like, it's
Yeah. Well, it's
like
like,
smart to like just release it on Apple Music and the streaming services,
yeah,
as an album. Like, you know, and
yeah,
what's cool about it too is like, yeah, you said about the mixtape, like all the references. I mean, there's no ceiling references. There's like you can even tell like some of the lyrics, like there's MF Doom references. Like, I mean, it's all
yeah,
kinds of throwbacks and especially the ad libs and stuff.
dude, it's great. I mean, and I mean, sure,
Which,
these kids are gonna get pissed about fucking drama, DJ drama.
yeah, young girl just fed me French vanilla ice cream. Everybody
Yeah,
got
right.
their toes out.
You guys ain't ready for this one. You ain't ready for this one. But straight up, like, all right, there's gonna. I mean, whoever listens, I don't give a shit who thinks this is different. But like, without dedication to Lil Wayne, wouldn't be Lil Wayne. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
you know.
definitely.
And I mean, yeah, I mean, it's kind of fucked up. Like, Carter 2 and Dedication 2 kind of came out pretty close to each other.
Yeah,
And I mean, yeah, I know it was a conversation in our group, but like, I feel like the mixtape was better than the fucking album. Like,
yeah. That's I mean, I feel like the way about there's a lot of artists that are that way.
mhm. I
Um,
mean,
you
and
know,
people are gonna forget, but like,
I mean, yeah, like I
motherfucking,
hate saying it. I mean, I don't hate saying it, but it's how I feel. But Kid Cudi, like his first mixtape was better than any album he ever put out. And people
yeah,
like, oh yeah, he's so good. It's like, man, like it's a bummer. Like it's a
I'm sure.
disappointment. But that's what and going back to like talking about mixtapes, it's just like that's the thing about mixtape is like people aren't afraid. You know what I mean? It's just like you let it all, just you put it all out there.
Well, yeah, you
It
didn't
gives you
have
the
people
openness
checking
to
it,
like, yeah, what gives you the openness just to like flow, and say, whereas an album's like, okay, I gotta strategically think about the first song, the next song, you just like fucking go
Yeah,
into it.
yeah. And I mean, if you're it's kind of great. Yeah, you're 100% right. It's and then with this though, I feel like it's kind of feels like that. Like he was like, "No, this shit's bumping. Like this shit's bumping." All right,
Yeah,
I'm fucking
yeah.
sneeze.
Damn,
And
bro.
like that's how it went, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know how you feel about it.
No, it's awesome, man. I mean, it's definitely my favorite thing. It's my anthem for the summer.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's what's
I've
up.
been bumping it. Been bumping it.
You know what else has been pretty wanging? Actually, nothing else. I don't really know anything else that's been like that I'm really like
Yeah,
psyched about. Nothing crazy's come out. I don't know recently.
yeah, yeah. There's only I've been just listening to the same like a couple albums. I'm like looking to see what I've been listening to. Um, oh yeah, Modest Mouse has a new album out, which I don't know how big of a Modest Mouse fan you are.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like it's like I like them, and it's some catchy songs, but it's kind of the same stuff. It's like, just it kind of, I don't know. I wish they would like change it up and do other stuff, but it's all right. And then that King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard Butterfly 3000 is what I've been jamming to lately.
Yeah.
Pretty
I'm trying
catchy.
to. I'm looking at
It's
my list, and it's pretty similar to what you were listening to. But I heard a song. Uh, what is it called? I heard a song not that long ago, and I was like, "What the fuck is that?" Or no, somebody posted something about Skinny Pimp, and I was like, "All right, I'll listen to that shit." So, and it was a King of the Players Ball album. I was like, "All right, I'll listen to that." So my list, my like recently played is that Elvis Costello, This Year's Model, Tyler, The Hustle Still Continues, that Juicy J.
yeah, that new one, yeah, a couple of
Yeah.
extra songs.
Yeah, and that Butterfly 3000 that you sent. But
Yeah,
I don't know. I think
do you like that album though? The
I
Butterfly
listened to a little
3000.
bit of it. I didn't listen to the whole thing yet.
Yeah.
But just because I haven't listened to too much recently. Oh, I tried to listen to that Gucci Mane Ice Daddy too. Uh oh, and shout out to
Yeah,
soundtracks. I know this is kind of weird, but that Fast Nine soundtrack,
yeah,
listen to that. It's pretty fire. And
yeah.
they always got pretty good soundtracks for their
That's kept,
movies, but
yeah,
like
yeah. That's the only thing about this. Is like,
I mean they're
I'm not trying to see
ridiculous,
I'm not trying to see a car zip line across a cliff.
I am. Let's go. Well, it's so stupid. You might as well.
Dude. Yeah.
And actually before that I was listening to I got into this weird tip because one of the songs on this list was or one of the albums was Van Morrison's Moon Dance.
Mm.
And I was like, I'm gonna listen to this dude because he's weird as shit. So I went down a weird Van Morrison hole for a minute. But
Nice.
yeah, I don't know. And oh that posthumous DMX album, Exodus,
There's a couple good songs.
fire. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
couple.
Dude, my
Not 100.
neighbor loves some DMX, dude.
Who does?
Like I'll wake up as my neighbor.
Oh
It's a
hell yeah.
black gentleman. Yeah, it's funny as shit because he's like, I'll wake up at 6 a.m. I'll leave to go to work at like 6 a.m. And so he's like fucking out there, and you'll hear him like he's like smell weed coming out the window, and he's just like,
Damn.
"Oh, Nick's gonna give it to you." Like, like,
Vibing
damn, it's
early.
6 a.m., dude.
Damn. that's a lot of energy at 6
But yeah, and
a.m.
like I mean, I'll pull up and it'll just be like random times. He's just like out there fucking shit. You can hear like through his fucking house. It's like, damn, bro. He's like watching, like,
Damn.
yeah, either listening to DMX or like watching some like fucking like Bruce Lee movie or some shit.
All right. All right. All right. Speaking of Bruce Lee, let's talk about actually not speaking of Bruce Lee. Fuck that. But okay, so I don't know. You got any last words before we introduce our next month's album so we can close this shit out?
I don't think so. Do you? You got something else you're listening to?
Yeah, yeah. And
Close it up.
I guess my last words are just go fucking listen to this. Otis Blue.
Yeah.
Listen to the extended version
Check it
if
out.
you got some time,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
definitely listen to the original.
Yeah.
And
There's some good live versions on the collector's edition.
hell yeah, there definitely are. And there's some B-sides and shit. So go check that out. It's kind of crazy that someone recorded this much music in a day.
Yeah, I mean,
But
but that's the thing about Stacks, man. Those Stacks session players. I mean, they,
they're no
like
joke.
another one of my favorite albums, just because it's at Stacks is Elvis live at Stacks, and it's just like it's
Which
long
is
as shit
hard
too. Like,
as fuck to find, by the way.
yeah, yeah,
Because there's no so that was one of the one of these albums that I had to listen to, right? And it's not
yeah.
on because it's licensed so many different ways. I think
Uh-huh.
it's not, you can't find like a just straight up version of it. Like you have to
You
find
can find
somebody's
the closest
playlist they
one.
made
Yeah,
of it.
yeah. The closest one I found is it's on Apple Music.
Like a playlist.
No, I think it's most of the album.
Hmm.
It's just Elvis Live at Stacks. I think there's like it's like 2 volumes or something.
Yeah, when I was looking
But it's
for it,
still not the whole thing. Yeah.
I found one on Spotify. It was like somebody's playlist that they made of
Uh-huh.
all the songs. But like if you look it up, if you look up the songs, it's yeah, it's just crazy hard to actually
Yeah.
get. Like it's I
Yeah.
mean, but there's a lot of those kind of things. Like somebody's publishing rights or whatever, like,
Yeah. Well, especially
something.
Elvis licensing. It's like, yeah, it's pretty intense.
Yeah. Um, and once we start getting into hip hop, I think we'd probably talk about more like um sampling licenses and stuff, like holding a lot of shit back from being
Yeah.
pushed out more. But
Yeah.
anyway, speaking hip hop,
That's yeah.
oh, you go.
I was just saying that one thing we should talk about too is speaking of sampling is like that Numera group, that label I was talking about that finds obscure artists from years past. So
Yeah.
that's like what, because their licenses are so cheap, I guess, and they're willing to work with people that like Kanye West and like Pusha T and all these different bands or hip hop groups or artists have sampled those those from those old compilations that they put
Oh, hell
together.
yeah.
It's pretty cool, yeah. But
So
yeah, it's interesting because they should actually, I sent you the playlist, but there's a playlist where it shows like this original song and then like where it's sampled in these
yeah,
hip hop songs.
yeah, it's crazy, like straight up.
Yeah, yeah,
um what's it called? Yeah, so I hope you liked this first
yeah.
episode.
Yeah, the rough cut.
The rough cut, that that demo version
Yeah,
uh of Dropping the Needle. This is Quick Sixers music, fucking music and culture and whatever
whatever. Yeah, yeah.
podcasts in the
Whatever,
world of fucking
whatever we're
pop
feeling. Yeah,
culture. But we're gonna pick something every month. And next month, Adam, our August pick, I think I already told you, it's gonna be that Stankonia Outcast. Okay, so we're gonna go, drop down to Atlanta, see what's up with
yeah,
that. Shit, I don't even know. I don't even know what beverage we're gonna have. So we talked about earlier, we had coffee because
yeah,
about
yeah,
circumstance. Fucking Atlanta though, I don't know. I don't even know.
yeah. I don't know
I
either.
had to smoke a bunch of weed. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm down. You know me.
I don't know. Shit, bro. I don't. Yeah, we're gonna have to look it up. It's newer. So listen to this. If I can go listen to that album, so you can hear us talk about it next
Yeah.
month. And
Yeah. I mean, you should already know it by now. I mean,
you should know it.
Stankonia,
Fucking, if you don't know it, you're fucking up, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So I hope you like this joint. This has been your boys. Check us next month for that Outcast Stankonia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, and write into quick6podcast@gmail.com if you want to suggest an album for us.
Yeah.
That could be fun.
And maybe suggest some albums that like these people have, maybe pair your own cocktail with them, so we have something to drink.
Yeah. So it's in that album, it's in that cocktail to pair, and tell us why you picked it, because I don't know, some bullshit. Don't send us some shit that you just sent us some shit for. Some obscure whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways,
now.
Actually, yeah, maybe Spice Girls for next summer.
Do.
Yeah, let's go. Spice World all the way. Listen, you boys. Yeah, bye.